God. It
What?
was so terrible. But you know what? It's Marvel Multiverse Mondays, Loki Thorsdays.
Yes. Welcome to the show, everyone. Marvel Multiverse Mondays presents Loki Thorsdays from LRMonline.com. Brought to you by Grow Generation. For the pros, gotta grow. I'm Nick.
I really dug that man. Like the cheesiness of it was great. I like how you do the
Pros gotta
running.
grow.
Yeah, but like my daily cog intro is pre-recorded and you run with it. I like it. So
Thanks. I've been trying. I've been caught off guard by beginning every week. I hope better
yeah.
every week. I hope fans realize that.
Yeah, I keep messing with them. I'm in control.
So this week, Loki episode 3, Lamentis.
Yeah, we got a big answer right there, didn't we? It's not fucking Earth. That's not construction equipment. That's fucking refugee equipment.
Mining, yeah, looks like mining equipment too.
Yeah.
That's why they fucked it.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Anyways, I always get mad at science fiction because I'm like Earth. Like I've seen most of the most beautiful places on Earth. You know, I've been to Yosemite. I haven't seen Yellowstone, but I've been to Yosemite. I've seen like Grand Canyon, Meteor Crater. I've been to Europe. I've seen the Mid East, and yes, the desert is beautiful, people. When it's not blowing you up. But I've always been one like, God, it'd be awesome if we had rings or like a purple sky or rocks that aren't gray. And I know we got green and blue rocks, but those are really, really rare and expensive, you know?
Well, it's like Marvel does what Star Trek does more often. Star Wars still today mostly uses real like location looking planets, and Star Trek and Loki have, and Marvel are like, here's a purple planet, here's like some weird fucking flowers that you wouldn't see anywhere else, and Star Wars is like, here's the sand planet. We got different location. It's not Jakku or Tatooine. Shot it in a different desert.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Definitely.
Of course, the title refers to Lamentis 1, which is it's a planet, right? And the moon's going to crash into it, or is it the moon and it's going to crash into?
I think they Star Wars'd it, and it's the moon and the planet's going to crash into. I think
you're right.
It is kind of confusing. I know you and I think differently. Like you said, this episode was okay, but it was like the weakest midpoint. I actually like this episode better than last episode. Other than at the end where there seems to be some editing inconsistencies, like why all of a sudden the guards attacked them when they went into that restaurant seeking shelter. Outside of that, I really just enjoyed the road trip and the constant Loki-ing of each other, which was fun. I have enjoyed the talkiness of this show.
So have I, but that's what. See, here's the difference between. Here's how I felt. So, a filler isn't necessarily a negative term. I don't think, as long as you pair it with, like for example, I really liked what someone called the filler episode in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where it was 5th episode. It was just characterization, but it worked really well because we learned a lot more about Sam and about Isaiah Bradley and his decision to take the shield. This felt like a filler episode that needed more character development between the two of them, is my opinion.
Yeah, I can see where you might want more, especially when we look at, it's the halfway point. These are like 40-50 minute episodes. Well, 38 to 42 after credits and stuff, but I really did appreciate 90% of the character development they gave her. But yeah, there is one situation when we do get to talking about the train that I'm going to point out, and I kind of wonder what your opinion is on it, because you're younger than me, you're you're a communist, and I'm joking, but no. Anyways, okay, carry on, bud.
All right, so let's get to the episode then.
Yeah,
All right.
because it's really really easy. They like go through the time thing, and then they walk and talk until you get to the train.
Basically, yeah. We see C20 kind of getting fucked with in her mind by Lady Loki, who we learn goes by Sylvis. Is that how I pronounce it? Sylvie.
And that is a really cool way of showing it, because I was really confused as to what was going on there and why she would have that type of memory. But then I thought, well, I didn't
even think of that part.
The TVA, I started thinking, like, is she special like Ravana? Does she get to do like what's his name does, and every now and then take a sabbatical to go visit a timeline and have a special treat or something, you know? So I thought that, but we get a big reveal later.
Start with that. We learn that's how Lady Loki got all of her knowledge. Then we cut to where the episode ended last week, where her portal goes straight to the TVA. Our Loki chases her through. She doesn't know her magic doesn't work there, so she's not as researched as Loki either. But
I found that to be very funny.
Yeah. She just went to do her thing. I was like, oh, here she goes. And then, oh, nope.
Nope.
And then Renslayer stops them at the door. She was looking for information on where the timekeepers are, I believe.
Yes.
So she at least believes they exist or know the source of where to go, if they exist or not.
Yep.
Renslayer shows up, and then they have to escape through a portal that Loki makes using give the pad thing a name. I wrote it down a book. Temp pad. Power up the temp pad later, but they use the temp pad to escape to Lamentis 1 in 2077, which, just like Earth and Alabama in 2050, is basically suffering extreme natural disasters because of what they've done with the mining. In this case, they've done to the... It reminds me of the movie The Time Machine. Where, like, at one point the moon's going to crash into Earth at one point in the future because they overmined it or something, and that's when he jumps ahead way too far.
Yeah, but in reality, the moon is getting further away from us. Yes, one day it shall break orbit, and I shall laugh.
Shall be.
Be gone, vile moon! You have tortured us with your tidal wave, your tidalness for too long. How dare you give us weather patterns and stuff?
There you make things work. So now they have to power up the temp pad. The batteries are out. What do you know? So they can't go anywhere. And the planet's doomed because they're at one of the incidents. Again, it must have been preset.
Yeah.
Go to an incident.
I'm wondering why that was on the temp pad. Like, why was that address there? Like, or was it completely accidental that he just hit a random button? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get a chance to rewatch yet. I wonder that.
Neither.
I wonder that.
Yeah, I figured it was a preset she had. But...
I know. But my question is still, like, we saw a lot of the breakdowns of where all of the are going, but we still don't know necessarily why. I'm guessing it was literally just to clear out the TVA. That's it.
That appears to be her plan.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think the locations of the bombs are anything more than Easter eggs for us, and for her, it's just a distraction. Exactly.
That's the impression I got in the beginning. Now they're stuck. They need power. Try a few tricks. They end up sneaking onto a train using each other's powers. Even before that, they have conversations about the differences between them. She doesn't even want to be called a Loki.
Yep.
Pick that. Sylvie. Sylvie picked that name for herself.
Yep. There's our amalgamation of the Enchantress, which they keep using the term enchanted.
He used the word enchanted.
Yeah. So we do have an amalgamation here. This is a Loki variant combined with the enchantress of a sort from the Marvel universe, which I'm completely okay with.
And I noticed a line rewatching last week's episode.
What's
we
that?
Missed. Owen Wilson is in the middle of saying different variants have different powers when Loki interrupts him. It's like, no, this is how the powers work. So the line's in there, but it's like immediately like just talked over, which I didn't notice the first time I watched it. Because he's explaining that when we do see her in the end of last week and this week, that's why they have a completely different power set. They're both Lokis. And they have a different past too. I'm sure Marvel's keeping it secret intentionally. Otherwise, part of the reason I was disappointed is I want part of their conversation to be more about, well, how did her Asgard work? Like, Thor, her sister? Like what the hell's like? What I want to know more about. Obviously, she was left her mother at a younger age. She knew she was told she was adopted. Like he's about to drop on her like a spoiler alert. Yeah. She's like, no, they told me that when I was young.
I like that. The powers thing and the conversation with the old lady. Like my wife was like, why isn't she going to the train? I was like, she doesn't have a ticket. No duh. She's staying there. And they're the way that they're antagonizing each other, it's clear that that's their way of really probing someone. And one thing that I almost got upset about is some of the goofiness from Loki this episode, until I also saw her getting some of the goofiness as well, and some of the cheesiness, and I was like, okay, I'm happier with that, because it's almost like a Loki trait, because let's face it, he wasn't perfect in any of his plans. He's
flawed,
foiling around, but he is very, very capable. And you never know when what he's doing will actually work, because when it works, it works well. Look how long he was sitting on the throne of Asgard.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that, and I called it, like when he phased into that old lady's husband, I was like, she's gonna blast him.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
And I like that this is definitely something I've noticed, especially in this episode, but that Loki really doesn't use his powers that much in the movie. And it's always like the same one. It's fun to get him to use a lot of different magic, including just his mom being a witch, teaching him the
fireworks. Yep.
Fireworks in his hand.
I know we got to see Frigga via past shots that they reused on the holo projector from the other films, but I still hope Rene Russo makes this surprise thing, but I am happy that her character Frigga's been a key part of this. For multiple reasons: the witchcraft part, the magic part, and then also just the Loki development part, because the past Loki knew he was responsible for Mommy's death. This Loki knows now that he would have been responsible for his mommy's death. So I like that.
And me too, a lot. And then we finally, there's a lot of newspaper magazines are making fun of, have our first official Marvel LGBTQ character.
Yeah,
fine, like sort of. They make the line about, I'm sure there were lots of princesses and princes.
Yeah,
like, yeah, and I assumed, I'm pretty sure she is as well.
Right, and so here's the funny thing. We all know that they came out and said that Valkyrie had a similar type scene that was cut, and that yes, she's LGBT.
We haven't seen it yet.
Right. Well, we had the guy in that one of the Russos played an in-game. Yes, he counts.
Yeah,
he was openly gay, but he wasn't.
Hero.
Well, she's not a hero. She's a villain. And well, we'll see.
Well, I just wanted to bring it up because it's a big move for Marvel, but not a big move for the genre. Because you look at CW shows, and like Arrow has multiple.
That's what I was
gay and bisexual characters.
That's what I was going to kind of get at. This was my only other issue, and it's not that Loki could be into dudes. It's the fact that she makes like this dudes, yeah, like boy, like almost like a look without looking at the camera. Look, guys, we just said that Loki could be bisexual or I don't know. I hear the word queer they're thrown around a lot for orientation and gender, so I don't know what they're really looking for. I'm guessing since she mentions boys and girls, dudes and chicks, we're going with
princes. I think is
right.
The other word.
We're rolling with
a lot of princesses out there.
We're rolling with it at least bisexual, and her reaction of like ooh giddy about it kind of took me out of the moment because let's face it, for society, not individuals. Okay, yes, individuals will still have issues coming out depending on family, faith, yada yada, but in general, when someone comes out today and says I'm at least, you know, gay, lesbian, or bisexual, the general reaction from society is like, okay, like you said, the CW already has not just a diverse cast in race and gender, but also in orientation. And
I think one of the leads was gay. I know Constantine's bisexual, and he's flirted with multiple men on that show, and he's had sex with multiple women on that show.
And in science fiction, it's not even really that new. You look at Captain Jack Harkness going back to the early 2000s with the Doctor Who revival, you know? Captain Jack will fuck anything that moves. He's like Jason Mewes, man. I'll fuck anything that moves.
That's why I always use that line for Lando. But yeah, I definitely got that from Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes.
So that was my only takeaway from it. We already knew ahead of time that they were playing with the idea of a gender fluid Loki, a potentially bisexual Loki. Nobody like. I feel like what's his name in Jurassic Park, like Dotson, gay
no
guy,
one cares.
Bisexual person, lesbian. Nobody cares. Like I'm I'm happy that that's a good thing though. Don't get me wrong, it's a good thing that nobody cares. It's like coming out and saying I've got a wife. Okay. yeah, that's a good thing. That means we've made progress, people, to the point to where it's almost taking you out of the moment, making a deal out of it, because we're so used. I mean, in my own wedding party, I had, besides myself, I think I had one other straight male. Like everyone else was gay or bisexual. I don't know how I ended up with so many gay and bisexual friends, but I have a lot of them. What does that say about me? No. So it was just, so that's the moment I wanted to know about you. Her reaction with the, boys. Did that kind of take it from you too?
No, this didn't take me out of it the way, like Endgame or something makes it super obvious. Or, yeah, this one felt very natural. So,
I guess
part of why it worked for me better than the other times Disney's like, hey, look at these characters kissing in the background or whatever. It's like, we got gay characters in there. This was an actual line about it, and it wasn't, they didn't dwell on it more than like in Princess.
Right.
It just felt like the two were being mischievous towards each other because they have a weird relationship.
I could kind of see that. Like I said, I'm not too upset. I'm not going to be like ranting and raging about it. But her reaction, I read it as to the audience of, hey, look, we're finally doing this out, like you said, out in the open more so. But it was brief, and whether it was a try at clever humor, or it was a, hey, look at us and pat us on the back, regardless, it was short and we can carry on.
Okay.
To you singing? Ooh.
Did you? That was fun. Before we get to that, did you notice a weird sexual tension between them?
Yeah.
Like it just felt weird because they're both Lokis. Maybe that's why they'll end up together in the end if they both survive, I almost think.
I found it.
It only felt weird because I know they're not the same person, but they're the same person.
Yeah, but
is it like fucking your sister if you fuck your variant?
No, it'd be more like masturbation.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I just felt we'll see if it evolves. But you definitely
Yeah.
felt it too. It wasn't just me. It
No,
might just be
no.
them being playful. That is Loki in
Yeah,
both forms.
it could be.
Especially when he sat next to her after the train.
And you know what? It could end up being something we'll talk about after this word from our sponsors. That's how we hook you, keep you going.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
There we go. Now, what were we going to talk about?
They were weird.
Oh yeah,
you felt it. You saw it too.
Yeah. What if it's more of a sibling thing? The brother sister they wanted and never had because they dealt with their own versions of Thor, which weren't them. What if it's something like that? Because it's kind of weird, but there are a lot of similarities between sibling relationships and romantic relationships when you start thinking about especially when you got like a significant other that's into a lot of the same things that you are into. One that was that's only, you know, within your age group, so like 2 years, maybe 3 year difference at most, so you watched the same things. And there's moments like that where I could see some of those like moments being misread, and I do wonder if maybe we'll get a sibling thing instead of a romance thing. But there was definitely an odd thing there.
So they get on the VIP train, you know, with all the richer people, like in all these movies. Yeah, they have their conversation. Oh, here's another question. Okay, so in the comic, there's a character called Sylvie. She goes by, right? Did I just do it wrong again? And she does have Asgardian powers, but they're given to her by Old Man Loki. With Old Man Loki likely being played by Richard E. Grant, do you think there is any chance of this, or do you think she's again an amalgamation of characters and really is a female Loki?
I'm still going with the whole amalgamation. Now the guy that did create Sylvie did come out and bring her up, but with the stuff on what's the word I'm looking for, the constant mentioning of enchantment and stuff, and even the Sylvie Lustion that was created by Paul Cornell did get called or take on in the Enchantress mantle at some point. Yeah, because she started in Dark Reign, and because I saw him tweeting about it earlier today. So it's an amalgamation. I think there's no way she's not, you know, a Loki variant. I think she's being honest about that. Now, it would be a pretty trippy moment to find out this enchantress maybe enchanted a variant, and isn't the variant is just a regular Loki, would have been just like our, you know, current Loki, but until the enchantress took her over. I don't know. I think it's just going to be an amalgamation, though.
That's what I think. So now that I bring him up, the fact that we haven't seen old Loki yet, and we're going to the second half of the series. It's assumed he's playing old Loki. We haven't seen the actor yet. Looks just like Tom Hiddleston and Richard E. Grant. So I wonder if he'll actually be the main villain, person behind the TVA, you know, whatever.
Yeah, never mind. We'll talk about the end credits in a moment, I guess.
Ooh, I don't know. So yeah, he talked about Loki gets drunk, singing all kinds of songs. Almost looks like he's impressing her.
Very
he's full. It's almost like he's impressing her or checking if she's Asgardian or something. And then he does the whole Thor, another, and slams the glass on the ground.
I loved that moment. Thank you, Marvel. That was a great throwback.
Asgardians are not don't invite them over to parties unless you have lots of glasses.
Yep.
And then a little fight breaks out because, of course, they notice Loki. Loki gets thrown off a train. Lady Loki has to jump off because she still needs him because he has the device. But he breaks the device when he lands. The temp pad. The temp pad is broken. So their only chance now is to hope to get on the arc that's never taken off. But since they're variations, they're variants within this timeline, maybe it'll take off because they're there. They rush for the town. Apparently the train wasn't that far away when they got thrown out. So it didn't seem like a big deal for them getting there.
When they got thrown out, Nick, did you immediately say no tickets to yourself? I figured you did. I looked at my wife and said, "Blind."
And this is one of the moments we learn they're hanging for the arc, and then we get the biggest like bombshell since the beginning of the season.
Yep.
That TVA is made up of brainwashed variants.
Oh, I didn't.
Which is why there was the margarita scene.
Yeah, I did not. Like I said, I didn't see it coming. The margarita scene.
Yeah, even with that, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I'd written it off as them kind of like what's his name's jet ski magazine. Like she had that margarita. That was her thing that they allowed her to do or something. You know. Yeah, just crazy.
Mobius having a jet ski accident, and then he wasn't supposed to have an accident, but he'd had one, so he was just ripped off and brought the Time Variance Authority right off of his jet ski in like the 90s or some shit.
I could see that. It's gonna be a trip now, man. Like
we've always called them slaves, but now they're not even created by timekeepers.
No,
I mean they're created by the same creation that brought the stones and everything else into existence.
But still, like, there's some massive power going on here. You know, the fact that you could play with Infinity Stones like that, the fact that you could play with time like this, the fact that you could take variants and keep them alive for God knows how short or how long. Like, holy fuck. Who could Owen Wilson be a variant of? We know people can look different. Like start thinking about other heroes that we might be seeing here, you know?
Interesting.
And not even necessarily heroes, but even B characters like agent the FBI agent from Ant-Man and WandaVision, Jimmy Woo, right?
Yeah.
And then
I want you a Jimmy Woo variant with superpowers.
You know, so it's like it could be crazy the things that we could be seeing and not know it, and Marvel just keep it in their pocket until later.
How about this theory? So technically there are multiple variants of a person. What if the other person who's been leaving rings on her table and bringing her presents is a different Mobius? Since in the comics there are like a bunch of Mobius. It's just Owen Wilson, but a different variant that doesn't even know of him, or our Mobius is the one in the dark.
Oh, who's the other guy?
The guy gave me your gifts
for him. Yeah.
A different Mobius.
Yeah. That would be interesting. It'd be really great if they got Luke Wilson to come in and play that one.
No, you know who a variant of him should be? Ben Stiller, since they're always in movies together.
That'd be funny too.
Ben Stiller's Mobius from a different dimension.
Yeah.
To give each other like the Zoolander look.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be fun. Funny.
I wish.
I doubt it.
So they're pretty much fucked at the end.
Yeah.
The moon's gonna go away. The arc explodes in front of them. You're right. Yeah. It's really weird to have the fight scenes in this. I thought were better than last week, but it's weird to have one where there was one at the end.
Yeah.
Earlier fight scenes were better, I thought, within the episode.
They're still very choppy, and they're using a lot of stunt doubles, but I did see several good close-up shots of the actress playing Sylvie, and she did a great job with those. But you know, this is not an action show. Yeah. I didn't expect everyone to be doing their own stunts.
I guess that makes sense why the action's so much better in Falcon and the Winter. It wasn't that good in WandaVision either, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that show's about action. There aren't episodes where maybe this is why I didn't like this episode as much as the past ones actually, is maybe I do enjoy Loki talking with Owen Wilson more than
talking to Sylvie.
Yeah. But Because there's obviously a lot more talking in this show, but it's also way more cerebral, whatever, and
Cerebral.
crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're fucked. We know all the Minutemen are variants, which is fucking terrible. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's I mean, it's shocking enough just that alone. The fact that they're taking people and making not just I mean, because on the one hand, without getting too theological before we wrap it up, you talk Kevin Smith movies, and you think about Loki and Bartleby and Dogma, and the conversation about the freedom humans have, but we were created to be slaves and things like that. And you think of the TVA, and you're like, man, that's really fucked up. You were created to be servants like that,
they give the illusion of God and the angels,
right,
but really it's someone snatching.
Yes, makes
humans.
It so much worse.
Someone who's not as powerful as we think, because they obviously didn't create all this life. They just, if it is a they, it could be a he.
Yeah,
he.
We'll see.
It. And I have one last theory I didn't notice, but it's been floating around online. Excuse me. That now I'm just burpy from the delicious Coke. The question is, did Loki, when we cut away from the drawer of stones, Loki is still holding a time stone. Did Loki even I assumed he didn't even take any of the stones. Do you think he took a time stone?
I'd have to go
theory
back.
Floating around. I mean,
I really
don't physically see it, but that's one of the ones he picks up.
Yeah.
Or something. And I never even thought of it. I thought he just left them out there because he's like, well, these aren't good here. Why? Otherwise, why not take one of each, stuck them in your pocket in case you ever got the TVA?
Kill him, but yeah.
He's a god.
The guy that's not a god sure as hell snapped his neck. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and check it out. We're only 3 episodes in, so it's not too hard to go back to episode 1. It's not like you're 6 episodes in and you got to go all the way back.
So here's my prediction. Obvious that the TVA rescues them. I think they get rescued by Old Man Loki. I'm gonna make a complete guess. Be like,
I think
we meet our second variant. He's the one who's like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
He's, like I said earlier, maybe he's pulling all the strings, even the TVA. Because in his main role in the Agents of Asgard comic that this is mostly borrowing from, that I've talked about, where Loki's hunting other variants and fixing things so he gets like points back at Asgard.
Right.
Because he's, a villain half the time, but he wants to be good sometimes. Old Man Loki, while escaping being caught, is trying to make sure that this younger Loki turns out just like him. But that's part of his plot, is he doesn't want to not exist, so he's making sure that Loki becomes who he's supposed to be, which is that guy. Wow. But with variants, it might work differently. But.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
It's been fun, and I've been enjoying the episode length and the fact that for the most part they feel like they belong this length. So been pretty happy with it. So yeah, guys, shorter episode because, well, I mean, it was just a lot of fun talking, not a lot to really break down, but we got a lot of other great content on lrmonline.com, on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Marvel Multiverse will continue with a name of some sorts in the future after Loki Thorsdays.
Come up with the name with only 3 weeks left.
And then we'll be talking Black Widow here real soon too. Can't wait for that. And then of course we got the Daily Cup of Genre, your daily cog every Monday through Friday. Breaking Geek Radios on Fridays, Animeversal reviews on Saturdays. We're doing Summer Wars this week. It might have to be pushed to Sunday. We'll see. But yeah, and then I think I'm missing the Cantina, Star Wars. Yay! That's always fun. And yeah, all that wonderful stuff's also available in audio format wherever you get your podcasts from. And all the great interviews and celebrities and producers, creators, writers, directors. Biff, Thomas F. Wilson, and freaking Robert Duvall and Martin Sheen, all on our YouTube channel. Interviews, exclusives with LRMonline.com. Check it out. Subscribe, guys. Good, Nick?
All right.
Miss
Yeah.
anything?
No, I'm Geeky Nick Doll on
Yeah.
Twitter.
And I'm at Kyle Malone.
And then this Friday, we'll be to switch to the DC side. I'm Breaking Creator of the podcast. I already watched it. It's excellent. Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 came out this week. An animated version of my favorite Batman comic. So
it was better than Killing Joke.
It's good. It's probably one of my favorite adaptations. Feels I haven't read the book in a while, but it feels I can't tell what was added and what was taken away, but it definitely feels true so far.
Okay,
and it's
cool.
just part 1, so it gets you halfway through the holidays.
We'll have to check it out. Well, thanks, guys.
Check it out. Yeah. Excelsior.
There you go. Enough said.
I am Batman.
No, you're not. You just wish you were.
Yeah.